Today we're going to be building a team around the new legendary Pokemon Terapagos, and after that we'll be running some test games on the best of 3 ladder. Now, to start with here guys, we need to take a look at Terapagos and have a look at kind of what this Pokemon does. Now, I don't think it's pretty important, especially with Terapagos, when you're looking at kind of how to build around this Pokemon and, EV in particular, it's very important to pick up, its normal form here, which is that this, I guess the Terra, it's not the Terra form, I don't even know what you call this. This is the Terastallized form, I guess, and then this one's the Stellar form. There we go, got the Terastallized form and the Stellar form, right? The reason for that is because when Terapagos terras, it gets slightly different, its stats change essentially, right? It gets a buff to a majority of its stats. So if you have a look here, 95 HP and 105 special attack are the main two. But really, I do believe, yeah, it's the attack stats and the HP stat are the big ones that change. Defensive stats and speed do not change. So I do think it's pretty important when looking at, EVing this Pokemon. In particular, I'll show you guys why, because this is a necessary calc that will come into it. So say for example, we go to like, we're on the regular form here, right? So say we go to the regular form, right? And we run like this here, right? We go to the bump number, we click modest. Perfect, right? We got the, the bump there, right? So if we go 196, do we hit a bump on this guy? And the answer is no, right? We hit 175, which is not a bump number. Because of that, I do like EVing Terapagos in its stellar form, because the majority of the time, this is meant to be the Pokemon that you are going, Terra on basically every time. The game plan really in this restricted format, especially with Terapagos, is you probably do want to Terra almost every game, but it's definitely the kind of Pokemon where if you get up a card mine or two, you definitely don't have to Terra it, right? So I'll just go through this now, which is the EVs I opted for on this set. And I just went for this here. The speed is just the speed I want to hit. I think you need a little bit of speed investment on Terapagos, because the issue with like sets like this, where people just go like, 4 speed, is you get outsped by other Terapagoses. You also speed tie things like, slow Rillaboom. There are even, fast Incineroars that are kind of capping out at like 112. And because of that, maybe we'll even actually go up to 113. Just so, we do outspeed those like max speed adamant Incineroars, which I do think is kind of important. And again, we should outspeed a majority of the, the Incineroar, so the Rillabooms that are, not investing too much speed. Because of that, we see the spread here. We're also going to be going on modest nature, of course. So we'll take that over here. We go 60 into here. I believe this was 236 in the special attack stat. Yep. And then maxing out the HP from there. Very, very simple set, but it is the one we opted for, right? So I'm just going to close that out now while we kind of talk about what this Pokemon wants to do. So in terms of items, I do think there are like 2 ways really to go about it with Terapagos, right? The first one is leftovers, and that is because this Pokemon pairs incredibly well with Incineroar and Rillaboom. I've been talking about it a lot, obviously, in the most recent videos, but like these two right now, the Incin Rillaboom combo is just, without a doubt, like probably the best like combo. Like this is just slap these two on almost any team, and it's really, really good. But the reason they're so good is because Terapagos is a Pokemon that loves to click Calm Mind, and it loves having leftovers next to a Rillaboom with Grassy Surge, and of course Fake Out. Because essentially what this can allow you to do, right, is you can just click your Calm Mind, and then you can just go Protect as you cycle into the other Pokemon. So like say, for example, you lead Incin Terapagos, right? You go Fake Out, Calm Mind, Protect, switch into your Rillaboom or Parting Shot, whatever, and then you have another Fake Out, another Calm Mind. And they pair incredibly well with the lefties plus terrain because of how Terra Shell works. So basically, if this Pokemon is full HP, the first attack it takes will be not very effective, which is an incredibly strong ability, right? Especially if you have consistent healing with things like leftovers and Rillaboom. But today, the set I'll be opting for is actually not the leftover set. It is the Covet Cloak set. And the big reason I am a huge fan of Covet Cloak is 2 things, really. One, you can't get faked out on turn 1, which is incredibly important because you can lead this with, your own fake out Pokemon, for example, the Rilla and the Incin. And then you can fake out the threat that is, potentially going to click the fake out on you, right? Like, so say, for example, you're going up against, an opposing Rillaboom or something like that. You can just try to fake out whatever's next to the Rillaboom with your own Rillaboom, and you don't have to worry about, your Terapagos getting faked out. And then 2, it's really, really good into stat drops. I think one of the best ways to play the game right now is to have a Snarl Pokemon on almost any team, right? That's why we're seeing things like AV Raging Bolt even rising in usage again, because you have, these Pokemon like the Miraidons, obviously, the Kyogres, the Terapagoses, of course, the Calyrex-Shadow Riders, like all these massive special attackers that are incredibly good. So things like Assault Vest plus Snarl. I've personally even been running Chi-Yu with Snarl and Choice Scarf. Even Incins are starting to pick up with AV Snarl again. And because of that, I think Snarl is obviously just like the last thing you want on a Pokemon like Terapagos is to have a Pokemon reducing your, your special attack stat while you're sitting there trying to obviously, set up. Now, of course, another option here as well is Clear Amulet. Clear Amulet is definitely a solid option, but personally, I like having the Fake Out immunity. But yeah, so that's why I'm going to be opting for Cover Cloak today. But again, these are things you can test around, right? You'll test it. Maybe you think, hey, my Terapagos is like never in positions where it's getting faked out or snarled down. So we can go back to lefties, or, maybe you really want to stop parting shots out of Incins, and because of that, you go for something like Clear Amulet. But the main stab move on this Pokemon will almost always be Terra Starstorm. You'll be clicking this move like 99% of the time when you're going on the offensive. The reason for that is obviously, one, it's a base 120 power, no drawback stab move. And two, if you click your Terra Stellar, god, that's a mouthful, you hit both Pokemon, which is very, very good. And because of that, you're going to be clicking this move 99% of the time on offense. And you know, I've said in past videos as well, when you look at this Pokemon here, it has a ridiculous amount of coverage, right? Like, its coverage is absolutely insane. It has almost any move in the book. But if there is a move that you think it might not have, honestly, it might actually have it. It's kind of crazy. But realistically speaking, if you do not click Terra, right, then you are clicking a normal type Terra Starstorm, right? It's a normal type until you Terra. And because of that, there are really two main types that resist this. Or technically three if you count ghost types. But yeah, it's the ghost types, it's the steel types, it's the rock types, right? They all either resist or are immune to it. Because of that, Earth Power is just the most consistent option here, right? It hits the steel types and the rock types are super effective damage. And if they are a ghost type, it does hit them for a little bit of damage there, right? But again, most of the time here, we're going to be clicking Terra Starstorm. Now, we kind of have an idea of how we want to play the Terapagos, right? This is, as I like to call it, the Protect the King strategy. Terapagos' job on this team is to win the game, right? You are trying to set up a win condition where your Terapagos is the mon that essentially carries the entire game. So how are we going to, you know, enable it to do this, right? Now, one thing I do quickly want to mention before we go on here with this is you can always check out places like Limitless VGC or TCG, right? Basically, you know, I've shouted them out in the, you know, previous videos. I think this is a fantastic spot, especially early in the metagame, because you can go on this website and you see here, you know, Mouse Tour here had a 52 player Regulation G tournament, right? So you can go into here, you know, you get some inspiration, you can find whatever Pokemon it is you're looking for. The metagame tab also is like incredibly good. You can see what's getting used, like the most usage in these events. For me personally, I do tend to always look at the bigger events. So here, you know, the Wide League, that Grayson one, shout out to Grayson once again. Incredibly good, right? We see here Grayson as well was running a Terapagos, so you can grab some ideas, you know, from this here. And again, you know, you see some other guys here, right? So you want to learn Calyrex-Shadow, all that kind of stuff. It's a very, very good place to jump on, right? And basically have a look at, you know, some other spreads people are running, grab some inspiration, you know, maybe find some new sets you didn't think would be that good, but it turns out other top players are running it, right? Anyway, back here. So again, I want to play the Protect the King strategy, and the big Pokemon that is really on the rise right now with Terapagos in particular is Comfey. The reason for Comfey being on the rise is its access to priority healing with Triage plus Floral Healing. So what makes this combo incredibly good is you can use Pokemon like Incineroar, right, with, like, you know, Fake Out Parting Shot to really weaken the opponents, and then eventually get your Comfey in, and then just side spam Floral Healing, you know, so giving your ally 50% health, and just constantly healing up the Terra Shell, right? That's a big reason why on this team I'm also opting for Covered Cloak, because I have the healing between Incineroar and Comfey that I feel like I don't necessarily need to rely on something like Leftovers to help top me up, right? Comfey is there to just be a heal bot. It also has a few other really cool options as well. One of which is Draining Kiss. One of obviously Terapagos' biggest weaknesses is its, you know, pretty poor matchup into fighting types. Obviously, it holds on to that normal typing, and because of that, you know, its matchup into the fighting types is pretty lackluster. Because of that, having a Pokemon like Comfey with a priority Draining Kiss is very good, especially with some of the Pokemon running around right now, in particular, something like Urshifu Dark can be very, very annoying, right? Urshifu Dark is incredibly good into both Terapagos and Calyrex-Shadow Rider, and a lot of the time they do hold that focus slash item, so you can go for something like, you know, the Terra Starstorm as you side heal yourself, and then the next turn when they're on 1 HP, you can just snipe them with the Draining Kiss, which is very pog, right? It also has access to Trick Room as well, which I think is very good. Because again, when you look at our Terapagos spread here, you know, we're hitting 113 speed, so we're not slow by any means, but we're definitely not super fast. And if we're going up against another hyper-offensive team, going for something like Calm Mind plus Trick Room on turn 1, and then side healing to get up another Calm Mind is very, very good, right? Just keeping, you know, the Terapagos topped up, but also giving it, you know, access to some speed control, I do think is very, very important. But then we look at the rest of the team here, and there's one other Pokemon I think is incredibly good right now, and that is Grimmsnarl. Now, the reason for Grimmsnarl being super good, in my opinion, is one, again, Calyrex-Shadow Rider can be a bit annoying. And look, this team has answers to it, right? We have things like Rillaboom, the Incineroar, and we also have Terapagos, which does resist its, you know, primary stab. And of course, we also have Rillaboom as well to get rid of, you know, Psychic Terrain if they do opt for something like Expanding Force. But I do think having a Pokemon like Grimmsnarl that can just lead next to Terapagos and set up the, you know, Light Screen and Reflect is very, very good, right? This Pokemon is, like, actually, like, incredibly good right now, in my opinion. But it also has access to a move called Sucker Punch. Now, Sucker Punch it's very interesting, right? Because I'm not 100% sold on Sucker Punch. Spirit Break might even just be the better move here. It's definitely worth testing. Personally, I want to try Sucker Punch, but I do think Sucker Punch is probably a bit better on the best of 1 closed sheet rather than the best of 3 open sheet. But regardless, for today, we're going to test it, and it's definitely something we can look at, you know, changing over in the future, right? But final move here is Parting Shot. Of course, this Pokemon can run other, moves like T-Wave and whatnot. But I do think having Parting Shot paired up with Screens is incredibly good, right? Because say you're going up against a very, specially built team, you can just go for things like, Light Screen, Parting Shot. Or even against physical teams, right? You can go for Reflect into Parting Shot into your Incineroar. And it just makes for a very, very good defensive backbone, right? Not to mention having things like Parting Shot here, of course, having a potential U-turn here is really, really good as well. And then for the final mon on this team, right? So I look at this team here and, we have some pretty decent offense. Incineroar and Rillaboom can both hit, pretty decently on the physical side, even though they are supportive Pokemon. And of course, Terapagos is very, very strong on the special side. And Comfey and Grimmsnarl, they do give you a little bit of damage on the special and physical side, but it's not really too much. But what I do really want on this team is probably another good physical Pokemon, or at least a Pokemon that is more offensive than it is, defensive. Because again, while these two kind of deal damage with things like Flare Blitz and Woodhammer, realistically, a lot of the time they want to be clicking Fake Out and pivoting out. And because of that, we have two main options in the last slot. And also looking at, the team here, we have a good Fire Grass combo here. And I really think it needs a Water type. So the two main ones I'm personally looking at for this team is Urshifu Rapid Strike and Ogerpon Wellspring. Urshifu Rapid Strike is the one I'm going to be using on this team, simply because I think Urshi with Incin and Rillaboom is just incredibly good. Not to mention, it gives us a Choice Scarf Pokemon that we can use for a bit of speed control. And it is also just really good at pairing up with, again, Rilla, Incin, even Comfey, right, being able to keep it alive. And again, Grimmsnarl, right. But the other option, obviously, being the Ogerpon Wellspring, I do think is very, very good. Ogerpon gives you redirection. It also gives you a very, very good matchup into things like Kyogre. Again, like just having the ability to redirect things as your Tropico sets up is very, very nice and definitely worth testing. But for today, we will be using the Urshi Rapid Strike. But let's run through the sets here just so we can have an idea of what I think we want to be running. So to start off here with Incin. Now, Incin is a really interesting one because I think Assault Vest is probably its best item. But on this team, I want to be running Assault Vest on my Rillaboom instead. And because of that, we're going to opt for Sugar Berry. The main reason for that is because a lot of Incineroars, so not Incineroars, a lot of Groudons right now are opting for things like Clear Amulet. And unfortunately, a lot of the time, you will just drop to the Precipice Blades if you don't go for your Terra. And if I'm being honest, that doesn't feel really, really good. And because of that, we are going to opt to go here for the Sugar Berry. We're going to go Flare Blitz and Knock Off. The main reason for that really is just because we want to come out there, we want to, knock off or fake out the Groudon. And then, yeah, just go from there. And then in terms of the Terra here, I'm going to go for Terra Grass because the other option for Incin here was something like potentially a Recovery Berry or Safety Goggles. Now, this team doesn't have the best matchup into Amoonguss, I'm not going to lie. Really, our Amoonguss matchup is kind of just using Incin plus Rillaboom to protect the Terapagos. And, just kind of set up and then pray to God we get the Terapagos like to maybe +2. And then at that point, we can go for something like Terra Starstorm plus Flare Blitz into it to try snipe it, right? But having Terra Grass just gives you another option where, if you need to, you can always just go Terra Grass and then Parting Shot out. And then, of course, you can start the cycle where these two can just easily switch in on the Spores. Which, by the way, that is another really good, idea as to why, potentially something like Ogerpon Wellspring can be really good, right? Just being able to redirect Spores is very, very nice. But in terms of EVs on this Pokemon, because we are going to Sugar Berry, and we are, we're a very defensive one, right? We kind of want to pivot around. I did end up opting to go for this spread here. Now, obviously, we're not that physically invested on this team, but what we do want here, in my opinion, is we want a little bit of speed, but realistically, the special defense, I do think, is the most important stat. And the reason for that is this is one of our better answers at switching into something like Calyrex-Shadow Rider. And because of that, I do think having as much Spadef as possible is really good, while also still getting a bit of defense here, right? We went the 12 speed just for the speed creep wall, but I could also see a world where we could just go something like max speed on this, if I'm being honest. Like hitting that 112 while we have our Terapagos here at 113 could be really good. Because another spoiler as well, we're actually running 114 on our Rillaboom. So going for that, those staggering the speeds there, I do think is pretty nice. But for the sake of this team here, I have ended up opting to go for a bit more of a defensive set. Because again, I do think it's very important to run a, we're trying to support the king here, rather than actually dealing to, a lot of damage with my Incin and whatnot. So because of that, we will just go with the careful nature here. And really bump up that Spadef, just to give us, again, answers into Calyrex-Shadow, which again is probably the best Pokemon in the format. For Rillaboom, though, this is pretty simple. I've been running the same Rillaboom spread for a very, very long time now. And that's just the Woodhammer plus Grassy Glide. And then realistically, this last slot here can kind of be whatever you want. U-turn is obviously very, very good. We did have it there before. But for the sake of this team, I will be running high horsepower, simply because I think this team really struggles to deal damage to Miraidon. Rillaboom is obviously a really good switch into Miraidon because it has grassy terrain, removing its terrain, which, again, removes a lot of its damage buff. And just having a bit of damage, I think, is really, really important. So because of this, again, we're just running the same old set. This is just the set I've run for a very, very long time. It's just something I'm really comfortable with, and because I like to stick to it. But eventually, you know, I may change it as the format develops, because this is obviously going to be one of the first times where Rillaboom is not going to be probably as cookie cutter as it was before. We will probably see other sets aside from Assault Vest, but regardless, the AV set is still very, very consistent. And then for the next Pokemon here, we have Comfey. Now, Comfey is a really interesting Pokemon. In terms of like items, really, you can I think you want to regenerate a berry, right? Or sorry, a regen berry no matter what. But it really comes down to, do you want like citrus, or do you want something like, you know, potentially a Figgy berry? Now, in saying that, I don't think Figgy's actually good on this Pokemon. Yeah, it's a minus attack, so we don't want Figgy because we are going to be minus attack. Is a Guave? I think a Guave. Yeah, so something like a Guave berry is like probably fine as well. For the sake of it, we're going to go Citrus Berry just because our Citrus Berry is open. And Terra Steel, I do really, really like. Obviously, you know, tearing a fairy into a steel type, it's just consistent. And of course, Protect. We kind of already spoke about the moves on this Pokemon. In terms of spreads, I did talk about this the other day. It's a spread that I personally just love on this Pokemon. So you hit like the third bump here, and then you just like pump into Spadef, and then you go a Bold Nature, and bang, look at that, 143, 143, max HP. I love it. It's very defensive. Its job is to stick around as long as possible. Like if you want to be like super duper efficient, I guess you could drop 2 points here. Does that? Yeah, so for Citrus Berry. But realistically, like I don't think it matters that much, right? Those extra 2 hit points that you would be missing is like, I'd prefer to just have the extra 2 HP. Grimmsnarl though, again, this Pokemon, like I'm kind of just wanting to really just get its defenses even for now. Like it's, you know, I probably just go not a Bold Nature, it's Impish, right? Yeah, Impish Nature. Getting the HP max that obviously is very, very important, and just having the defensive stats be relatively similar, I do think is pretty important as well. Outside of that, like, again, you could tweak it. Maybe there's a world where you want a bit of attack, you know, maybe you want like, you know, maybe you want to split it and go something like this. I could see a world where like this is good for opposing Grimmsnarls. I might even just keep it there for now. And then I'm just going Terra Steel. Again, we're a fairy type. You know, Ghost Terra is not bad as well, like if you want to avoid fake outs. But realistically, if you are going up against fake out Pokemon like Incineroar, chances are you're better off just leading your own Incineroar anyway. And the last Pokemon here, Urshifu. This one's like really simple, and I'll kind of explain why. So you definitely want Surging Strikes, right? Surging Strikes are very, very important. Close Combat being your other stab move, and then U-Turn. Of course, we want U-Turn on a Scarf set, because, you know, we spoke about how we dropped U-Turn on our Rillaboom. Like, if we had U-Turn here, we would have had Parting Shot, U-Turn, Parting Shot, U-Turn, which is, like, pretty good, especially with Terapagos. But again, I think you really want the high horsepower here. And then the last move on your Urshi is, like, really, really interesting, because obviously we have Rillaboom. So Aqua Jet is, like, not bad. But I actually think Ice Spinner, like, might be the play. One, I think Ice Spinner is really good because you can catch a lot of Rayquazas off guard. For example, you know, say you just lead something that's, like, not very threatening, right? So, say, for example, against a Ray team, you just go, like, Urshi Grimmsnarl, and then you just go, like, for example, just, like, Reflect plus Ice Spinner, right? Because they're going to look at you and think, dude, you're an Urshifu, you're a Grimmsnarl, you can't touch me. You know, maybe Spirit Break will hurt, but then you just, like, hit him with an Ice Spinner, one-tap him, and, yeah, I think it's pretty good. But yeah, so that's why I'm opting here. Like, obviously, getting rid of your own terrain is, like, pretty rough. But a lot of the time, you're not going to be clicking Ice Spinner anyway. It's a very, you know, very niche move. Spread's pretty easy. You go Max Speed always, because Max Speed allows you to outspeed Max Speed Calyrex-Shadow by 1 point. So Max Speed Calyrex-Shadow hits 222. Choice Scarf Urshifu hits 223. So that's why we go that. In terms of EVs, honestly, you could go like the 156 and then do something like this. But really, that was like this was a calc for Dragonite, and it's like, I think it kind of just gets thrown out the window. Again, we're early format, so I'm just going to do this, just go max. Urshi's job in this team anyway is to deal damage. I don't necessarily need it to live any one hit, and because of that, we're just going to go max here and make it pretty simple. But yeah, that is the team, guys. I think it's going to be pretty good. We'll obviously test it out and see how it goes. And hopefully, depending on the time here, probably only get 1 best of 3, and maybe 2 if we're doing good on time. But unfortunately, I am actually going away to Perth in like 2 days, so I'm about to pre-record a bunch of videos after this, so I'm on a bit of a time crunch. But yeah, anyway, let's queue up a best of 3, and we'll see how we do. So, guys, I just want to throw out there, we actually had to fix up the Terapagos. Unfortunately, apparently, you can't take the middle form in. You do have to make the baby form, which is a little annoying, but it is what it is. Anyway, we're going up into the mirror this time. Let's have a look at the team sheet here. So he's lefties, he's Mental Herb. Mental Herb actually probably pretty decent here as well. Not too bad. So how do we want to go about this? Question, I think, end of the day is always going to be who's got the faster mons. I actually don't mind just leading screens here with Terapagos and just going from there. Actually, even Rillaboom's probably fine. Probably go like Rilla, Terapagos, Grim, Comfey, right? Yeah, I think this is good. Is this? Yeah, this is the play, I think. Because, like, realistically, what this is going to come down to is, like, one, do we keep our, like, do we, like, out-heal here? Because I'm assuming he's going to have to bring his Terapagos too. Yeah, and the beauty of this is we can actually fake out his Terapagos and he can't fake out ours, which is really nice. And also, of course, we don't know what the speed is like here, which is going to be like something we have to look out for. So we just go Fake Out here, and then we go Calm Mind. Are you U-turn, sir? You are U-turn. Okay, so he is U-turn. Going to be really interesting to see how this goes. I'll put the timer on him here. So one thing we need to learn here is who's got the faster Rilla. Obviously, we are a little speedy, so hopefully it's ours, but we'll soon see, I guess. Terra Shell broken. That's fine. We don't care about that. What we care about is the Fake Out. Oh, and he's going to opt to U-turn off us. Okay, that's fine. I mean, we get the Calm Mind advantage here. This is good. Because what we can really do here that I don't think he can by the looks of it is we can definitely try to out sustain him here. And he actually just goes to Protect. That's interesting. Is he setting up Trick Room on me? Yeah, he's setting up Trick Room. Okay, that's fine. We just go Light Screen, Calm Mind again. Because eventually we're just going to outpace him here, right? Like, that's the main thing is we're just going to go... We'll go for the Light Screen here, then we'll Parting Shot as we just keep clicking Calm Mind. Yeah, like, we should just completely outpace him in this position. Calm Mind again. Like, him setting up Trick Room here was, like, really interesting. I'm guessing he realizes I got the faster, like, team. Because he would have seen, like, that on turn 1 that I... Like, I'm not crazy, right? I went first. Yeah, my Calm Mind went before... Okay, so he's actually slower than my Rillaboom too, which is good to know. And then we just go into our... Yeah, let's go in... Is it just Rillaboom here? Yeah, it's just Rillaboom here. Because Rillaboom can just allow us to start going on the offensive right now too. Because like, yeah, sure, you're Calm Minding up. But now what we can do is we can even go Terra Starstorm plus Woodhammer into that slot. And yeah, we can also put the pressure on Comfey here as well. Like, we're +3, he's plus, like, 1 on the special attack side. We have Light Screen, he doesn't. He gets the Draining Kiss, that's fine. This Woodhammer should deal massive damage here. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't think the crit mattered at that point anyway. We were breaking him. We did get rid of terrain, actually, so maybe it does matter. But that's just, like, a really commanding position for us. Also, the other crazy thing here as well is we actually do outspeed the Urshifu here, which is kind of funny. How do I want to do this? It's probably just Woodhammer into his Urshi. Because he's gonna... Is it ever worth me switching here? Yeah, I think this is always a switch by me. Like, he has Fake Out and he has Close Combat. It's just a free double into my Terapagos. We don't care about the buffs anymore at this point, I don't think. He actually just goes for the Glide. Interesting. So we get the Woodhammer. That'll now put him in range of a Draining Kiss. And yeah, we eat the CC. That's breakfast, baby. I think this is just switch into you, Draining Kiss. And we feel pretty good about it. He could go Protect, which would be kind of annoying, but at that point we pivot out our Rillaboom, which is great. Yeah. Does he get me with the Woodhammer here? Hold that. Damn, doesn't hold it. But that's okay. Is it okay? This feels really awkward now, actually. I don't love this anymore, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I guess we have Fake Out here, and we can go into our Terapagos. I mean, wait, he just protected, right? Yeah, I mean, this is just a free Grassy Glide into that left slot. That kills. We just go, like, Reflect and Grassy Glide here. He doesn't have Fake Out up this turn either, and his Urshi should go down at that point. He's -1. I'm really curious now if his Terapagos actually would have lived that turn. Oh, he gets the Sucker off. Crazy with it. And then we just get the Reflect up. Yeah, and now the good thing too is here, like, puts us in a good spot. We can just, like, sucker this guy anyway at this point. I don't think we matter. We got high horsepower too. It looks like our high horsepower even picks up anyway. Sick. Okay, game on. That went pretty good. Obviously, in the mirror, it's always scary. But I think we played around that one pretty well. I like the exact same strategy, though. We just got, like, Rilla Terapagos. Grimmsnarl in the back. And then we want Comfey. Comfey was pretty bad there. And if he brings these two again, I actually like Incin. Like, Comfey didn't actually get to play, so we'll go Instinct instead. Because, like, I think that Rillaboom definitely does cause us some problems. Like, he hits us pretty hard. And obviously, just having Instinct is, like, a really good switch into it as well. Not to mention, I think having a second Fake Out in this game is also really nice. Because we really need to just pin that Urshi late game. Like, if he tries to click Trick Room again, fantastic. If he doesn't, you know, we can go for things like Fake Out and just, like, try to pin him down. And he actually just leads his Instinct too. That's great. So the good thing here is we know we outspeed Instinct as long as it's not Terra Ghost. Sorry, as long as it's not Jolly, I mean. And sure, he can Parting Shot off here, but we get the special boost faster than he does here. And again, same thing as last time. Our game plan here is just to outstall him, I think. Oh, sorry, out set him up. We'll just set up faster than he can. Oh, homeboy didn't read I'm cloak. Damn, that feels bad, man. Damn, it actually sucks too, because part of me really wants to use... Do I go Grim now? Yeah, I can just go Grim and Parting Shot and just keep Calm Minding. Yeah, it feels bad that he didn't see I was cloak. That's why you always read team sheet, boys. He probably just assumed I was lefties, which is like kind of funny, but whatever. Oh, he actually goes to knock there. Interesting. Okay, so it kind of pins me a bit more, but I think he should really Parting Shot there. But this is fine. We just go light screen and we Calm Mind again. And then even if he like goes into his Urshifu right now, we can just go on the offensive. Oh, and he's actually gone Terra early, man. Calm Mind up again. He's just going to Parting Shot this time, surely. Oh, he actually goes to Terra Starstorm and the Parting Shot, yep. Who's he going to? He goes into the Ursh. This is actually fine, because what we can do to the Ursh here, I think we just go Sucker, and then we just go Terra Starstorm here, and then we'll take it out this turn. Because breaking its Sash right now is like really important, I think. Yep, Sash goes down, he CCs, we eat those, and then with the faster Terapagos. And this should also put him in range too. Like, we're going to lose our Terapagos here, which sucks. Oh, he went Calm Mind. Oh, he greeted. He greeted. Greed is good, boys. Greed is good. He does actually just straight up at healers here, which is kind of sad. We'll just go Parting Shot and just Protect here, I think. And then we'll get into our Rillaboom, and then we'll kind of just start healing up with that. Yeah, he's actually just going to outplay me here, I think, which is like really sad. We have the light screen too. The healing is going to be really good. He's back to full. Is there ever a world right now where... I think this has to just be Woodhammer plus Terra Starstorm, right? Because realistically, we're never going to out-heal the Terapagos' damage here. And just pray to God this picks up Comfey even. Ooh, he protects. Oh, he double protects. Okay, giving me the chance to heal is actually really interesting. Dude, if I just Calm Minded there... I guess it's because he didn't want to get faked out. Actually, I wonder if that was the play. Maybe you just fake out the Terapagos, Calm Mind again, and then protect up, get a little bit more HP. Like, maybe there's a chance, but at this stage, I think we should hopefully be able to power through this thing with Rillaboom. He goes the Draining Kiss, does nothing. Woodhammer, it's not enough. It's not enough. Because, yeah, now we just get screwed. Wait, what item is he? Mental Herb. That's actually fine. It's actually not fine. We're in a really bad position here. Pray to God he doesn't protect. Yeah, he's just going to double protect here and then Floral Healing. Yeah, not having the Comfey is going to be what hurts us this game. God damn, why did I bring Ints in? I guess our play here is just go... Is it Woodhammer Knock? Watch Blitz, like, just missed the kill here, and I'm going to be really sad. Dude, that did 63? What the hell? I thought that only did 50. So we knock off his lefties, which is really good. And we'll go back into here, and then we'll just Parting Shot out, I guess. I think at this stage, we just need to nerf Terapagos' damage. Because what was his last one? His last one's his Insin. I guess we probably... I think our mistake this game, actually, is just not hitting the Comfey, if I'm being honest. Like, at this stage, Comfey just had to go down. He doesn't even have to double protect here. He's got so much HP. This is just light screen. And then probably go Woodhammer onto Comfey, right? Yeah, he's just got to double protect in front of me. Oh, he doesn't? Okay, yeah, this one's done. He cooked me. He went Calm Mind. That's fine. Just go Parting Shot again, I guess, and Woodhammer here. I think the mistake this game was I kept attacking this, like, not getting enough, when really I could have just killed the Comfey early and then, like, probably out-healed it. Yeah, and he knows I'm going for the kill on the Comfey now. Yeah, this one's done, I think. I'm just going to forfeit it. I don't have the pieces anymore. His Terapagos is too far ahead. So, what do we learn? Insin was cool there, but not necessary. I think we made the right play game one. Yeah, I think we just go Rilla, Terapagos, Grim, and Comfey. I think that's the right play. Yeah, I think that seems good here. We obviously just need the healing, I think, coming out. He's going to lead his Insin. Again, this is completely fine. This puts us in, like, a winning position. Because, like, really, all we need to do is out-heal the Terapagos, and then probably... Yeah, I think we just do what we did last game, honestly. Because, like, he's going to knock us this turn, most likely. You know what, actually? We want to predict the knock. No, we don't. We just go Fake Out here, and then we just go Calm Mind. I think what we did game 1 was fine. We just have to like out-set up the Terapagos here and then eventually get our Comfey in the right position. Like, that's fine. Knock off my Covert Cloak all you want, honestly. Then we just go Grimmsnarl here. Is it just Grimmsnarl now? Yeah, just Grimmsnarl Calm Mind, I think, is fine. The issue is always just going to be when the hell he gets that Urshifu in and what we do about him getting Urshifu in. He goes the Blitz. That's actually, like, not bad for us. We'll take that chip any day of the week. And then we just go back to our cycling, get the Light Screen up, get the Calm Mind up here. He shouldn't be able to kill my Grimmsnarl here unless he goes for the Terror. And we're just going to keep Calm Minding up here. He's going to go for the Parting Shot. Yeah, he goes Parting. He's just going to Parting out into his guy in the back, but honestly, it doesn't matter. Yeah, he goes into Urshi here. Like, I actually don't hate this at all for us. Because all we do here is we just go Parting Shot here, and then we just Calm Mind again. Because it's going to be not very effective, because his Urshi outspeeds the Terapagos. And we have Light Screen up. This is fine. Oh, he's going big dick here. He's going real big dick here. Oh, he actually, what the hell? Yeah, we just go Instant and pin Urshi now with the Fake Out. Because now we're just so far ahead of his Terapagos. Yeah, that just did nothing. And we get it back too, which means we're still resisting this, which is fine. We can pin his Ursh. The Ursh should just go into Instant right now, I think. Which is why I'm just going to go Woodhammer here and just go Calm Mind again. Yeah. Keep the pressure on. Like, he's only +1 over here, man. This is fine. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be just the wall we go for here, right? And honestly, I don't care if he knocks me here. We'll just go one more. Damn, this is really going to be that kind of game, isn't it? Oh, he didn't even go Fake Out, which means he probably just went Parting Shot, didn't he? Oh, he actually just goes Blitz, dude. This guy's crazy with it. Do I want to get my Fake Out back on the board this turn? Like, I'm already pretty far ahead. Honestly, I think this is just where we go Trick Room and we just start attacking. The reason for Trick Room here is in case he does bring his Urshi back in. Bang. And okay, losing his Instant super good too. Yeah, okay. Because at this point, we just saw how much damage we did to the Terapagos, right? We just did 59, which means we kill him this turn. And also, we're like bulkier. We're further ahead than he is. This is really good. This is just Draining Kiss and attack, right? Actually, no, this is Protect and attack. Okay, so he protects the Urshi here. And also, we didn't want to lose our Comfey there, I don't think. Yeah, because now we drop into Sash. We took his Terapagos. Yeah, we're in the winning position here. Even if he gets the KO, I think we're still in a good spot. Yeah, because now, what's his last Mon here? Do we know his last Mon? I'm guessing it's just his own Comfey, right? Which means we can always just spam Draining Kiss into the left slot, and we can just Fake Out whatever comes in, right? Yeah, it's Comfey. Yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm happy for that trade here. Because the Urshi doesn't get to play the game anymore. This is just Draining Kiss, and this is just Woodhammer. Like, you can protect all you want at this. Oh, he could Floral Healing, but we are min speed. Should we just? I think this is just Draining Kiss, Fake Out just in case. Yeah. Okay. So we went first there, which means we might actually just be the slower of the two. Regardless, we're going to go Draining Kiss and we're going to go Grassy Glide. I don't want to lose to a Floral Healing getting him out here. I mean, he's close combated. He should just die to this anyway. But it shouldn't matter. At this stage, this should just be Barbecue Chicken. A really good showcasing in the mirror too there, I think. Oh yeah, he tried the Floral Healing. Yeah, GG. GG to our opponent there. That was a really good set. Honestly, I'm kind of glad we lost game 2 there. Like, we kind of saw what happened, like, with the Comfey in game 2. He's, like, really outplayed us. But yeah, like, really, really good set by their opponent. Unfortunately, I don't have time to record more. I really wish I did. But your boy has to pre-record some other games. Obviously, still low on the ladder there, but I think it showed off the team, right, and what it can do. Like, Terapagos, when it sets up, is really, really good. I kind of wish we did actually get to play against another hyper-offensive team. But it is what it is, boys. I do have another Terapagos team as well that I'll be showcasing. A different one that I pulled from an online tour. That'll be coming in the coming days. It's actually one of the videos I'm about to go pre-record. So yeah, if you guys are interested in that, make sure you like your stick around the channel. Yeah, hit the like button, you know, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to be pre-recording 4 different battle videos to go up over the weekend while I'm at Perth. So yeah, if you like battles, obviously stick around for that. But yeah, anyway guys, that's going to be it for this one. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.